I'm Maria Larissa Riego. And I'm Joanna Ecoli. And today, we're going to share to you some important and life-saving information.
Here in the Philippines, the government agency that is responsible for weather forecasts, rain advisories, and typhoon warnings is the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Service Administration, also known as PAG-ASA.
PAG-ASA established a two-phase program to improve the weather alerts. Phase 1 is a public warning system specifically for thunderstorms, known as color-coded rainfall system. And Phase 2 is for larger weather disturbance, such as low-pressure areas, tropical depressions, and tropical cyclones, also known as public storms warning signals from 1 to 4.
According to the PAG-ASA website, the purpose of the Public Storm Warning Signals or PSWS is to warn the public of specific weather conditions related to an oncoming tropical cyclone.
On the other hand, the color-coded rainfall warning system aims to help communities prepare for upcoming disasters, such as floods, landslides, and dam spills.
Now let's talk about the public storm warning signals. Public storm warning signals or PSWS given during tropical cyclones should not be mistaken for rainfall and flood warnings. Rather, it is based not just on the amount of rainfall, but also on the strength and speed of the wind. Thus, the full impact of each public storm warning signal is only felt after a certain lead time has passed. The Public Storm Warning System or PSWS is as follows. Public Storm Warning System number 1. The first signal indicates that the area affected should expect intermittent rains within at least 36 hours. Winds of 30 km per hour to 60 km per hour should be expected, although it is unlikely that they will cause significant damage. As a precaution, classes in all public and private preschools are automatically suspended. Public Storm Warning Signal number 2. The second warning signal is raised in areas that will experience winds of 30 km per hour to 100 km per hour within at least 24 hours. Light to moderate damage is expected. Some trees may be uprooted and roofs blown away. People traveling by air and sea are cautioned, and disaster preparedness agencies should be alerting their respective communities. Classes from preschool to high school are suspended. Public Storm Warning Signal number 3. When the third warning signal is raised, people are advised to seek shelter inside strong buildings, evacuate low-lying areas, and stay away from coasts and riverbanks as moderate to heavy damage is expected. Winds of 100 km to 185 km per hour are expected within at least 18 hours. The winds could topple trees and destroy crops and houses made of light materials. Widespread disruption of electrical power and communication services is also expected. Classes at all levels are automatically suspended. Public Storm Warning Signal number 4. The fourth storm warning signal indicates that a very intense typhoon with winds of more than 185 km may be expected within at least 12 hours. The typhoon is potentially very destructive. Large trees are expected to be uprooted, and residential and institutional buildings could be severely damaged. Travels and outdoor activities should be cancelled. Recently, PAG-ASA added storm warning signal when a super typhoon will affect an area. This is called Public Storm Warning Signal number 5. A very powerful winds of more than 220 km per hour may be expected in at least 12 hours. This typhoon is extremely destructive or catastrophic to the community, as almost total damage to structures is expected. Most residential and institutional buildings may be severely damaged, and only a few crops and trees will be left standing. To avoid or at least minimize the casualties during PSWS number 5, evacuation to safer shelters should be completed early, as it may already be too late if it hasn't begun. The disaster coordinating councils concerned and other disaster response organizations should be fully responding to emergencies by this time or completely ready to immediately respond to calamity. Remember that as the weather disturbance moves through the Philippine Area of Responsibility or PAR, public storm signals may be upgraded or downgraded. An area's given signal number is based on the intensity, size of circulation, and the forecast direction and speed of the tropical storm or typhoon when the public storm warning signal is raised. Changes in intensity, size of circulation, or movement of the tropical cyclone also determines the change of the public storm warning signal in a given area.
To further help citizens prepare for heavy rains and flooding, Pag-asa also has the following color-coded rainfall or storm surge advisory system. Yellow rainfall advisory. Citizens should expect flooding in low-lying areas as 7.5 or 15 millimeter of rainfall or 8 liters per square meter or hour is expected within 1 hour and is likely to continue in the next 2 hours. There is also a possibility of a storm surge of 0.5 or 1 meter high. Everyone is advised to monitor the weather condition because the rainfall warning could be raised. Orange rainfall advisory. Intense rains of 15 or 30 millimeter or 15 to 30 liters per square meter or hour are expected within 1 hour, and flooding is considered a definite threat in communities under this alert. Rainfall is expected to continue in the next 2 hours, and storm surge 1 meter to 3 meter high are expected. Red rainfall advisory. This rainfall advisory is issued when downpours constitute an emergency. It is raised when the torrential rainfall is more than 30 mm within 1 hour or 8 feet has continued for the past 3 hours and has risen to more than 65 mm or 30 liters per square meter an hour. Storm surge over 3 meters high are expected and will most likely cause severe damage to coastal and marine infrastructure. Serious flooding is expected in low-lying areas, and evacuation to designated safe zone is recommended. First is to refrain from walking through flood as it may cause accidents, both to passerby and those in their vehicles. Power lines should be avoided due to possibility of live wires. Lastly, flashlight, batteries, and food supplies should be prepared ahead of time so family could evacuate immediately once needed. No matter the advisory, it is better to be reminded of what people should do when it's raining.
Remember, be informed, be ready, and be safe. Like what Kuya Kimachensa said, ligtas ang may alam.